Hello there. Thank you for joining me as we speak on the subject of our caring for our loved ones. Today, my subject is on communication. Communication. Communication is a big subject, no matter what area of life that you think of. Communication is so important in everyday life, no matter what we are doing. So, that is the subject that I want to focus on today. And again, I'm talking in terms of caring for our loved ones who have dementia, who are experiencing dementia. And dementia leads to cognitive decline. So, when our loved one has dementia, their process becomes slow. They don't think as fast and they are very forgetful. As time progresses, their communication becomes less and becomes more complicated. There is decline in function generally. There's slower walking, slower movement. Basically, with dementia, you're noticing decline in every area of life. Communication is very important because, humanly speaking, how people communicate with you makes a very big difference. And the reason that I use communication instead of conversation is because conversation is one method of communication. Conversation is very important because you are using your verbal words to talk with your loved ones. However, there's various ways of communication. There's the body language, which is the biggest percentage of how we communicate with people. There is the tone of your language, which is also huge. It's not the words that you say that make the biggest impact, it's the tone of your voice, it's how you say them, how they come out, is what makes the biggest impact. So there's your facial expressions, body language, your look, your eyes. The Bible says that our eyes are the window to the soul. So, how you look at your loved ones when you are trying to talk with them or communicate something, they can see that and it makes a big difference to them. So, when you have a dialogue, like a verbal communication with your loved one who is struggling with dementia, it requires a lot of patience because there is a decline in status. There's a decline in status. And so being patient, being patient, talk slowly. You have consideration. And one thing with dementia is it does change you. And it should change you because when you care for somebody with dementia, all of a sudden you realize it's not about you because your loved one is not able to come to the place where you are. So you have to go where they are. You have to go to their level of understanding, their level of function, because they are not able to meet your level of function. So when you communicate, you have to keep in mind that you speak slower. When you are speaking to your loved one who has dementia, you speak slower. You also want to look them direct and be in front of them. The more in front of them, instead of speaking from the corner here, come to the front where they can see you. When you approach, don't approach from the back. Come round circle through the front where they can see you, because when they can see you coming, they can perceive. But when you come from the back, you startle them because they can't see who is coming. And when someone has dementia, they are very vulnerable. So, and they are aware of it. A lot of times, especially before the cognition completely goes, they are aware of their vulnerability. So, always keeping in mind how best you can serve your last loved one, because your loved one needs you. That's why you are a caregiver. So, coming from the front, announce your arrival. Don't just show up abruptly. So, in caring for my dad, just going back to really be slow and keen on what his needs are. Because generally speaking, when it's just your life, you are used to moving fast. I want to do this, and you do it without thinking. I want to go to this place, and you go without thinking. But when you are caring for your loved one who has dementia, you need more patience. So, how you talk with them, be patient and think about, how can I speak so that my loved one can understand what I'm saying, and also maintaining their dignity. It's a lot to think about, but it's you have to keep all these things in mind if you're gonna really serve your loved one well. So you are thinking about their dignity, you are thinking about their psychological effects, you are thinking about everything. And so pacing your speed so that you can give them time to move at their speed. If you're gonna leave earlier. That way they are moving at their speed instead of trying to rush them. Because when you try to rush them, when I've tried to rush my dad, what I've noticed is that he freezes, because now you are overtasking the mind of your loved one, and their brain is limited because there's things going on with their brain. They can't help it. And so when you give them time, start your day earlier. If you're gonna go for an appointment, start leaving earlier. Get your loved one ready earlier so that you have time for them to move at their speed. And at the same time, you're paying attention to what their needs are. Sometimes they have questions. Being respectful. What do you need? I can go get it for you. So just really paying attention, also noticing that they can't move as fast. They are a for risk. As the dementia progresses, their gait changes, and you can notice where they start shuffling. They don't lift their foot off the ground. They more move in small steps that are very close together. It's called shuffling. And so they start to shuffle, and when you rush them, they are at a risk for falling. So just helping your loved one feel that they are loved, they are respected, talk to them directly to their face, give one command at a time. Again, you are also trying to help them maintain their independence. So don't give multiple commands at the same time. For example, take off your shoes or put on your socks. Don't go put on your socks, yeah, your shoes, put on your shoes, because your loved one may start putting on the socks and they even forget they were putting on the socks. So just being there and being patient and saying, yes, put on your socks. And if they are forgetting, remind them you're not done putting on your socks, and wait until they are done putting on the socks before you bring the shoes and say, okay, now put on your shoes. Again, you are helping them maintain their independence. If you start doing things for them because you can do it faster, they lose their function and it only becomes more complicated even for you to care for them. So the longer you can maintain their independence, the better for them and the better for you. So help them maintain their independence. One of the things I do, usually under normal circumstances, when I leave my dad taking his shower, I put his clothes where when he's done, he can find them, he can dress himself. Then I leave other clothes on the bed. This is all trying to separate his clothes so that he can wear these fast and then go to his bedroom and finish his dressing. That helps him know which one goes on first, which one goes on next, and then he goes to his bedroom and he can finish dressing. And for those things that he can do himself, I don't stand there and wait for him to do it. I just leave. That way he can take his time. So, under normal circumstances, you can do things like that. Let them do for themselves as much as they can do for themselves, because then create a routine for them. That way they know, oh, this is what I do first, this is what I do next. That will help maintain their independence as long as you can. It helps them at very many levels. They are feeling emotionally, mentally loved, cared for, respected. And then it also helps you. While they do that, you can go and take care of other things. So, but even all these phases that you are doing, it's all modes of communication. When you show your loved one that you can trust them, that you respect their independence, it's all you are communicating something to them. You're communicating them that you still trust them, you trust them. And your loved one, they know that they are vulnerable. So, as much as you leave them to do these things, they also need to know that you are around, that you didn't leave them and forget that they were there. They need to know that they are around. So, if your loved one comes calling and nobody is answering, there's lack of trust that happens. They know that they are vulnerable. I see that also practically with my dad is when he calls and nobody answers, you'll go down and you'll find that he is frantic. He's frantic. He's scared. He doesn't want to be left alone. So they are aware of their vulnerability. So be aware of that. And so just making sure that he is where you can hear him, you can see him when he calls, you are right there to answer. It increases their level of trust. Also, be aware. So, with them being a full risk, if they are feeling neglected, they can do things frantically, which can also cause them to fall and get injured. So, really caring for a loved one with dementia is multifaceted. It's a lot to consider, it's a lot to keep in mind, but always communicating to them, you matter, I love you, I'm here for you, you will not be abandoned. Communicating, let them know. Oftentimes, I talk with my father and I say to him, Papa, I hope you know that you will always be cared for. I hope you know that you will not have to worry about your life because I'm here. Your children are all there. They love you. All of your children love you. All of your children care for you. So, always reminding him, you will not have any reason to worry about your life because you have plenty of us and we love you. So I do this with my dad. I verbally communicate this with him. And every time I do, he'll look at me and he'll say, Ibwega Makena. That means thank you, Makena. Because as much as you may not realize it, they have questions in their minds. Sometimes they have those questions. They wonder, what if? What if? And sometimes they are not going to ask those questions. So, being deliberate about communicating security for them, they have security. They don't have to worry that things are going to go wrong, but constantly communicating those things to them make a big difference for them, even though they don't ask those questions. But when you talk about them, you can tell there's a sense of relief. They will communicate gratitude. And so communication is very important. Use your body language to communicate kindness, to communicate love. Use your body language, how you look at them. Show them that they are not a burden. Our parents don't like to be a burden. Just think of yourself. You don't like to be a burden to anybody. You just want to take care of yourself. You want to take care of your own affairs. Your parents don't like to be a burden. So always communicate to them that they are not a burden. Assure them that they are not a burden. Say it verbally, but say it body language. When you care for your parents and you are short, how you talk, you are short. Your body language is showing that you are upset about this, you are upset about that. They can read that and it makes them very uncomfortable. It makes them feel they are a burden, and that doesn't serve them. So, as a caregiver, yes, it's a lot, which is why volunteering to be a caregiver, and I'll say it's volunteering because you don't have to. Like, nobody forced you to be a caregiver. We volunteer ourselves. So, when you volunteer yourself, you take it at heart. Someone might even request, your loved one might request, can you take care of my affairs? You can say no. But the fact that you say yes, it means that you are volunteering yourself. And that's something that we as caregivers, you always have to remember is that you volunteered yourself. And so when you volunteer yourself, you do it in the fear of God. You do it in the fear of God. Let your loved one know they are not a burden, they are loved, they are cared for, meet their needs. Um, and the thing is, it's not like you're expected to do something that you are not able to do. But I'm a believer in life. When you do your best, it's enough. Whatever your best is, that is what is enough. So there's no condemnation for anybody that I'm not doing like so and I'm not doing like so and so. We all have different measure in life. So when you do your best, that is enough. And that's all your loved one could ask for. It's not about you giving more than you have. It's about your attitude. Your attitude. Are you joyful in what you are doing? And they can see it, they can read it. So I just wanted to touch on communication. Conversation is great, having those conversations. Also, look back, reminiscence, look back to their lives. Um, think about their lives. What did they do in their younger days? Talk about their work, their legacy, their legacy. Bring their legacy here and talk about it. Remember when you did and this and this? That was so good. Or the way they served at their place of work, the way they helped other people. Bring their legacy here and talk with them about their legacy. that also really boosts their esteem. It boosts how they feel about themselves. It helps them feel that they are appreciated, their efforts in life have been appreciated. So be intentional about reminiscence, bringing their story here and talking with them and asking them questions. Those are all ways that you communicate love and care for your loved one. Listen to them without interrupting. Be respectful when they are talking. Don't finish their sentences. They might be slow in bringing out their words. The moment you start talking over somebody else, it's a sign of disrespect or it's a sign of self importance on our part. So if your loved one is talking, let them finish the sentence. If they start the sentence and they are unable to finish or they can't find the words, then you can remind them the word and then let them continue. The goal is you are trying to keep them engaged, you are trying to keep them moving and being as independent as possible. You are also be intentional about talking with them because the more you talk with your loved one, the more they will maintain their speech. So it takes a lot of intention, communication all around, your body language, how you sit, how you talk with them. Your body language makes a big difference. The look in your eyes when you look at them and they look at you, it makes a very big difference. You are constantly communicating to your loved one. So be intentional about the messages that you want your loved one to receive from you when they have when they have dementia because they are vulnerable and they are depending on you. So, as a caregiver or as family or the family that is involved, be aware that your loved ones can read you. And when people are vulnerable, they don't even say much about how they feel. Because when somebody is feeling vulnerable, they are trying to make things work. And your loved one shouldn't have to go through that when they are dealing with dementia. So help them to feel secure. Help them to feel secure by communicating security to them on a regular basis. Body language, um, your conversations, your listening skills, being an active listener, listen. Give them opportunities to express themselves. Body language, give them time, be patient, all those things that you're communicating to them, be intentional about them. Otherwise, caregiving is not easy. I pray that the Lord bless you and the Lord keep you, and may He make His face to shine upon you and give you peace.